Manchester United have drawn 2-2 to Southampton in the Premier League at St Mary's in what was just dreadful. It was depressing. It was just not a good time. The first 20 minutes were among the worst first 20 minutes that we've had all season. And that's saying something because we've we've played bad in first halves more often than not this season. And by more often, I mean 95% of the time. It wasn't great and it wasn't enjoyable. And what makes it worse, excuse me, what makes it worse is the fact that we played so terribly against Southampton, who are the worst team in the league. You know, they're not great. No Bertrand today. Ward Prowse has been sidelined for a while, but no Ward Prowse. And we just look outplayed. Especially the first 20 minutes. Obviously, the second half, I think we dominated most of it, and they were really getting the chances on the counter, which is truthfully how a lot of teams have been pressing Manchester United on the counter, or pressuring Manchester United. It wasn't great. I don't even want to talk about the way we conceded, but I'm here to do that. So, the first goal was just a really good finish, in fairness to him. I mean, the defense wasn't great, but what do you expect when you play two central midfielders next to a center back? So Phil Jones looked great today because he was next to just trees, really. And in fairness to him, he did well. Like, you know, I can't take that away from him, but he had to be on it because if he wasn't, it was all over for us. It was absolutely all over us, over for us. And a point that needs to be made is Rojo's on the bench. And Eric Bailly, as far as we know, is not injured. So, forgive my language, but Mourinho's head's up his ass? I think so. If you are that stupid or stubborn trying to make your point that you refuse to play actual center halves and two of the best defenders at the club, I got nothing for you. At best, Scott McTominay is a backup center half, but you would play him over Eric Bailly, who was probably in the top 10 center halves in the league last season, and even his first season. And even now, he might be in the front. He might be in the top 10 center halves in the league if he plays consistently. Guy's good, kid's good. He's 24 years old, and he's solid. But Mourinho, his arrogance, his stubbornness will drive him to make stupid decisions. As if most people, they get caught up in their ego. But that's besides the point. So yeah, we conceded first in what was a good finish. And in fairness, I thought, upon replay, that it looked like De Gea may have got a slight touch to it, but he smashed that ball. Armstrong absolutely pelted it, and there was nothing you could really do about it. And then as for the second goal, stupid free kick given away outside, you know, like against a team who aren't really good in build-up play, you want to give them as little bit of chances from set pieces as possible. And we gave them the opportunity. And what a good free kick it was from Cedric, in fairness to him. It was quality. He showed up, and fair play to him. Then, 13 minutes later, Marcus Rashford driving at the defense. He had a good game today, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Rashford was quite decent, very intense, very aggressive. That's what I like to see. And he's never not that, but sometimes it just doesn't come off for him. But today it did come off. Other than scoring, which I don't even know if he had a shot this game. Other than scoring, it came off for him today. But yeah, he broke it. He was driving at them, played the ball across to Lukaku. It was a little scrappy, but Lukaku put his foot through it. That's what I want to see. He put his foot through it and made it 1-0. And I mean, not 1-0, 2-1. And honestly, every time we go down, unless it's 3-0, I always think there's a chance we're coming back because, one, the quality of our team is good or much better than most teams, apart from like the top four being City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Chelsea. And you could argue we're better than Arsenal. I wouldn't argue that. I think apart from, Aubameyang and Lacazette, we're better than them in all departments. Yeah, except for probably right back, but Delo doesn't play. Yeah, and then a couple minutes later, Marcus Rashford again. Very similar to the drive that Wayne Rooney had in the FA Cup final against Crystal Palace. Driving on the right side of the 18-yard box. And he puts it across. Obviously, the delivery of the ball between him and Rooney's was different. But He drives it across, and Herrera with just a succulent. It's not even the right word, but it just feels right. A succulent. That's what you talk about food, you know. But I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna say it again. Just a very great touch, show of finesse, back heel into the back of the net, and I was very happy with what I saw. And what I will say, moving on from that, we'll get back to the stats in a second, but this man, this picture embodies it all. Obviously isn't from today's game, but you look at that. Ander Herrera with the armband on. That is what should be happening. If Paul Pogba's not going to be the captain, Ander Herrera should be the captain, or David De Gea. No one else deserves the armband. I'm sorry, Ashley Young. And I caught a glimpse of Ashley Young receiving some instructions from Mourinho, and they look like he's probably the best communicator with Mourinho in that sense. So I can see why he's playing Ashley Young, but there's no need for it, mate. There's no need for it. And I was under the impression Delo was going to start. Like, what, man? And he didn't. Like, so frustrating. What do you say at that point? We didn't lose. But it's not like we're flying in the league. It's not like we're first. It's not like we're fighting for first and we drew away to Southampton, who generally are a good team. We're not in the top four, and we drew away to Southampton, who are the worst team in the league. Got to be realistic here. Honestly, when I saw the lineup come out, I tweeted, Jose doesn't win his job. That's where it starts for me. Like, it's one thing when the players don't play great, but you aren't trying to win this game if you put a lineup out like that. And I understand the 3-5-2, you can get away with it with the right personnel. You can get away with that if you got Rojo and Bailly. Now, only thing I would give to Mourinho is that none of them have played 90 minutes properly. I don't think Rojo or Bailly, I think Rojo may have played 90 minutes in the Champions League against Young Boys. I could be wrong. Bailly's played 90 minutes, maybe a couple times. But still, better than McTominay. I could understand him putting Matic there. He loves to keep Matic on the field because Matic is kind of like his general. But no excuses other than that. So, I don't know. I've already said I'm Mourinho out because there's no improvement. There's no change in mood around the club, in the team, and it's frustrating at this point. So, that's about it for me in terms of the game. I could go on and on about what the actual problems are at the club, but I do that all the time. And I'll do a podcast about it because I give little tidbits and stuff every time I do a review, but I really want to talk about it. Not only the problems in the club, in the hierarchy, but also the problems on the pitch. And go into real in-depth and get some graphs and some charts and some lineups out, so you can see it properly. But stuff like that, like I said in my preview, will be coming out very soon. So stay keen, stay locked in, and drop a like and subscribe. Now, before we get out of here, I'm just going to go through the stats real quick. We dominated the game. I mean, obviously, Southampton had more shots. But I didn't expect us not to dominate the game. But there was a lack of penetrative possession. Scott McTominay was useless. I'm a fan of everyone who's here, and I will support them, except for probably Mourinho right now. There's no positivity coming in the football or in the, any sense. But McTominay was useless. And Phil Jones moved the ball along the back line very well, and I was happy with that. But Matic, nothing he offered. You think maybe he'd be a ball playing center half, but he did not play any balls in behind. There was no quality at all. There was nothing like you would think during a quality central defensive midfielder into defense, you get that ball playing aspect and maybe a chip through ball in behind every now and then. Rashford making constant runs in behind. Maybe not necessarily on Matic's side, but I still didn't see any justification of Mourinho's decisions. That's all I'm waiting for. Is justification of why Mourinho is doing the things he's doing, and I've got no justification at all. At all. It's not a loss. But like I said, it's not a top four side. We're not in the top four, and this isn't the Southampton of old who are a good team that turn up at home against the big teams. It's not that scenario. So we really have to look at things and just question Mourinho seriously. Like I said in my preview, I want someone to ask him, what does he want to get out of this team? That's a question that needs to be asked, and it's not, and I don't even have any clue as to what he wants to see out of this team. So, yeah, I just, I don't know. He's got to do better with what he has if he wants something. Obviously, that's what the board are waiting for him to do, better with what he has in order to reward him with what he wants. And that's fair. Really and truly is fair. As much as you want, there's nothing really wrong with that. But at the same time, Mourinho's a guy who, once he gets his tools, will give you what you want to see. So, it's a bit of a tough one, that. But that's about it for me. I'm done talking about this game. We should have won. I don't know how we didn't score in the whole second half. If we had lost, I probably would have, deleted my YouTube channel. That's just where I would have been. I would have been very, very dark and deep. Anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Dave. It's been my United Talks. You guys are freaking awesome. Okay, if you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, tell someone else to subscribe. Okay, that'd be great. I'm out of here. Peace.